Oh, hi there. I didn't see you there. Welcome to episode 3 of Masters of Nowhere. This episode I am in Sidemen in Bali. I've taken myself here on a sort of self-imposed artist retreat, giving myself the permission to chill in the countryside whilst just working on fun artwork that is nothing to do with anything much. I am working on album artwork for the upcoming LUNAKAI album though, but to get to that point I am just experimenting and having fun, so that is what I'm doing in this room and in this lovely place. Super beautiful views. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you will see it in this video. So yeah, come with me on this episode to check out Sidemen, watch me draw cool things in my sketchbook. And on my iPad, we'll be going to a silver making workshop where I made this ring. I don't know if you can see it on the camera because the zoom is not auto, but yeah, that was super fun. Doing some hands-on work is always amazing, just like anything when you're not staring at a screen is, I just love it. So coming here has just been a good way to get out of my head and literally out into nature. I think it's really important for us to do as freelance creatives because we definitely have that tendency to just kind of sort of half be working all of the time. Just never really taking any time off, or not even really taking the time to work on creativity for the fun of it and be a kid, you know? Like being a kid is the most important thing. I think a lot of us got into this so we could understand our place in the world, but also just so we could continue to have that kind of childlike energy, which is super valuable and super important. So yeah, come with me to drive around Sidemen and do the silver making workshop, do some artwork, eat some nice food, and take a few days off.
Yeah.
Just kinda, I can't let
Something that I absolutely love to do, and this is definitely not unique, but I just want to put it in this video because I think sometimes when people aren't already creating stuff, they don't think about this part. You know, like sometimes I hear people wanting to get into ceramics or get into painting or something and they don't know where to start. And honestly, the best place to start is Pinterest, 100%. So this is a board I've made just full of cool, goofy, like kind of childlike illustrations and drawings for inspiration. And it's just full of, you know, brilliant stuff. So yeah, it's a really good way to get your mind going. And then what I like to do is, after I've gone through loads of different artwork and feel really inspired, is I'll go back to something else. Like I'll go back to a theme or like movie stills, or you know, like I have another board up here called Caught in a Long Wind, which is a Vice track, and this is just nothing but street photography shots. So you know, I could, like, if I try to draw that, it's going to end up super weird and cool and original because I can't really draw that. So I just do it in my weird style. And yeah, I think that's a really good way of doing things, that kind of process. So yeah, collect references and then look at references in a different medium to what you're using to try to get your brain going and get ideas going. This breakthrough that I've had with the LUNAKAI album artwork has come from a kind of combination of things. My dad actually said that I should rename some of the tracks because they don't seem very kind of thought out. And actually he was completely right, because some of them are just Ableton file names that have stuck. And sometimes I like doing that, to be honest, because it feels kind of real. Without overthinking it, it feels kind of authentic. But anyway, in this case, he said parts of the album sound quite 70s and psychedelic, but in like a modern way. Actually, let me cut to me talking about this. That led him to just think of holography, and then he looked that up, and one of the chemicals they used in that back in the 60s, 70s was called silver halide. And something, anyway, just him talking to me about this just kind of snapped in my head. I remembered that my friend Troy had shot all of this expired film, and all of the shots that kind of just ended up like a weird kind of 35mm chemically, nothing's on the picture except for crazy psychedelic colors. He put them all into one folder and he's going to make a project out of that. But I said to him, can I use those please? Because I think that would be amazing for the beginnings of my album artwork, if I can like animate those and then put my characters on top and animate that. And that's kind of where it started, but then it just sent me down a whole rabbit hole of looking on Pinterest and actually realizing maybe the best thing to do would just be, you can kind of get a psychedelia out of these. Yeah, so just things like this are just super psychedelic and trippy as they are. And it's kind of in line with the artwork that I like to do. I was like, bang, like lightning moment. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just get deep into my character design and deep into my artwork, which is what I've always done, but it's always been on the sidelines. And I'm gonna animate those, make trippy cool, like this guy for example, is so cool. And I think this, like, the cool thing is just the fun in these drawings. Like, I think that it's good to not take the music too seriously, unless, you know, you want to. But I don't know, I come from a place of like early skateboarding and Beastie Boys and punk, and even like early Odd Future. Just like have fun with it, you know. And I think with the music artwork, I've always kind of been taking it a bit too seriously, or going down a more serious route when I could just be having fun, drawing my stuff. And it gives me a reason to draw, which is great. Hopefully I explained that kind of breakthrough well, and you'll see some of the very early stage process artwork in the video. Hey guys, welcome to my rock. This is a new segment in the channel where I sit in the middle of nature and talk about goings on or some random things in my mind. What better place to speak about not being a rock in the river than literally sitting on a rock in the river. Me and my friend always bring this up when, well, usually he brings it up when I'm having resistance in my life of some kind, mostly with work. And it's like the obvious, it's don't be a rock in the river blocking the flow of life. Sometimes when we're trying to create, well, this can show up anywhere in life, but just it's a good thing to ask yourself whether if you're having resistance or you're trying to make a decision, ask yourself, are you being a rock in the river? Are you blocking the flow of the universe that could be conspiring with you and not against you? Are you blocking the flow of things? And it's actually a really simple one, because you realize as soon as you ask yourself it, you can go, I am being a rock in the river, and you can just shift that and then go with the flow. It's quite a powerful one to bring yourself back to when you're doing things with resistance or feel like you're going against the grain in your life in a way that feels counterproductive. Next.
So unfortunately, my little DJI microphone gave up the ghost in this moment, and you can see me here talking away for another 20 minutes or something that I needed to obviously cut down, but the universe cut it down for me. So moving on to the next section.
So I've been working on some character design for this first snippet to go with one of the tunes from the album. A little tattoo detail there. This is what she would look like when she's old. Still super cool. Headphones going into the abyss. So the next stage is going to be animating things. So here's a little snippet of the first animation I've tried out. It's super simple, just her blinking. And then I took that over to After Effects and I'll show you what that looks like now.